Hello guys, welcome to Online Web Tutor presented by Preferred Expressions team. I am Sanjay. We are learning Node.js with MySQL APIs. This is our part 7. Inside this video session guys, we will see about file system module in Node.js. In the previous lectures, we had seen about the core modules in Node.js, as well as in the last video, we had completely discussed about user-defined modules. Now file system means fs is one of the core modules provided by Node.js. So inside this video, we will see that how can we create a file, write a file, read a file and delete a file means the complete file system module in Node.js. So if we go to the next tab, now here I have prepared some documentation. So Node.js file system module. Node.js includes fs module means this is the module we have to load to access physical file system. The fs module is responsible for all the asynchronous and synchronous file input-output operations. So if we want to use file system means node file system module inside our application, we have to load this fs module. After loading this fs module now, we are responsible for using our asynchronous or synchronous input-output operations. So let's say that we are going to use called the input operation first, like writing a file. So use fs.writeFile method. This is the method actually used to write data to a file. If file already exists, then it overwrites the existing content. Otherwise, it creates a new file and writes data into it. So this is the syntax actually we have to follow. So let's see about these actions like writing, reading as well as deleting by the help of an example. So back to editor. Now in the last video, we had seen that how can we create our custom module as well as how can we load that. So if I get rid of all these two lines and let's say that const, this is our variable we are going to define, and firstly we have to load our module. So this is all about loading file system module. Now we are going to create a file means we are going to perform a write operation. So in the write operation theoretical point, as we know that using fs.writeFile method we can create a file, but the file does not exist, then it automatically creates and write data into it. Otherwise, if file exists, then it is going to override the existing content. So let's say that in our case there is no file created inside our folder. So the folder basically accesses the current application. So inside this application, let's say that we are going to create a file with the name, let's say that text.txt. This is the file that actually we are going to create and write some content, let's say hello. And this is the content actually we are going to write inside this file. So let's say that fs.writeFile, and as we know that by using Node.js file system actually we can perform either synchronous or asynchronous. So let's say that we are going to use called write file in asynchronous manner. So in the first parameter, as we know from the definition that firstly we need to pass our file name or the path of our file. So let's say that we are going to create the file inside current application folder. Now the file we want to create something text.txt. In the next parameter we need to pass our value, what basically we have to write inside this file. So if I copy this content and putting it here, now in the third parameter we have to pass the callback function. This function returns that either we are getting any error or not after writing our file. So let's say error. Now inside this, let's say that if we have some error like error, Then simply let's say console.log error, else simply let's say console.log write operation successful. Now we have done successfully, we have created this file and writing some content inside it. Now this anonymous function basically returns that what we are getting after writing our file. So back to terminal. So firstly I have to open that. So go to folder structure, copy the path of our project and let's say cd inside it. So zoom in and let's say node app.js. Now write operation successful. It means that successfully we have created our file. So back to editor. Now this is the file actually we can see text.txt. So if I open this file, now inside this file successfully we have written our content. So this is the first method that we have seen about writing any file or creating any file in our application with some content. So if I comment this method and let's say that if this is our created file, suppose in an application, now we are going to read that. So let fs read file, and we have both options. Either we can read file in the synchronous manner as well as in the asynchronous manner. So simply I'm to use firstly about asynchronous manner, that is read file. In the first parameter we have to pass our file name. So the file we want to read is something text.txt. Now in the second parameter directly we can pass the anonymous function. So let's say function error and here data. If suppose any error we are getting while running our file, the error will be stored inside this variable. Otherwise all the data from this file is now going to be stored inside this data variable. So let's say that if we have some error, then console.log let's say error, otherwise else let's say console.log we have no data. So if we save this file, back to our terminal, now we are reading our file here. So if I make one line comment here, that is reading file, back to terminal, let's node app.js. Now we are seeing something else in the output screen. This is something appearing as a buffer string. Now basically Node.js takes one more parameter after the file name, that is encoding character. If we don't specify about the encoding character while reading our file, then it returns about the buffer string. This is the buffer string which basically contains all the characters or the text what we have specified in the file. So simply we have to return the string instead of this buffer string. So back to our editor, and in the second parameter we have to pass our encoding character. As we can see inside this documentation, this encoding characters helps to convert our string according to that encoding character value. So let's say that we are going to convert this value by using our UTF-8 encoding. So back to terminal, clear all these things and let's node app.js. Now as we can see, by specifying UTF-8, now we are returning the exact value what we have inside this file. So this is all about reading file in the asynchronous manner. Let's say that if we want to read our file in the synchronous manner, so simply we need to say file content. This is file content equal to file system dot read file by synchronous method, and here we have to provide our file name something txt.text, and we are going to specify our encoding character something UTF-8. Now it will return all the content from this file to our variable something file content. So let's say file content here. So if we save this change, back to terminal, let's node app.js, and successfully we are returning here. So by the help of now we can see about write operation as well as about read operation. Let's see about, suppose we have a file and inside this file some of the contents already exist. By using our writeFile method, as we know that if file already exists, then it overwrites all the content. But instead of overwriting, we want to append some content inside this file. So we have append method as well to append any content inside this file. So let's say that fs.append file, and this is asynchronous. Inside this, we have to firstly pass about the file name. So let's say txt.text. This is the file. We want to append some content, and let's say some content we are appending. So again, in the third parameter, we have to pass our callback function, and it will return about the error if we are getting any error while writing our file. So let's say if error, then simply console.log, let's say error, otherwise else, simply let's say console.log append file successful. Now if we save all these changes back to our terminal, as simply let's say node and app.js is an argument. Now append file successful. So if I back to editor, open this file, now as we can see here, up to Tutor we have our existing content, but after Tutor this is the content actually we have appended by using this append file method. So this is all about appending file with the content. Now let's say that we have multiple files inside our application. Now we want to delete some of the files by using our file system module. So we have called fs, and we have unlink method. By using this unlink method actually we can delete existing files. So simply inside this unlink, firstly we have to file name. So let's say that inside this application we have, like, let's say txt.text is a file, and we are going to delete that. So this is anonymous function, so basically we are returning any value. So if while deleting any error we have, then this will be stored inside error. So let's say console.log, let's say error, otherwise let's say console.log file deleted successfully. Now if we save all these changes back to terminal, listen node app.js, pressing enter, file deleted successfully. Back to editor. Now inside this application file does not exist. Now by the help of this video session guys, actually we understood about the complete details of file system inside Node.js application. So if we want to use file system, firstly we need to load the core module, and by this core module actually we have to use called writeFile or writeFile synchronous. So every method has its synchronous as well as asynchronous method. So according to our use or according to our application need, actually we can use that. So by the help of this video session guys, actually we understood about complete details over file module system in Node.js. So inside this video session guys, if you have any doubt, then please drop your comment. I will give my reply as soon as possible. So for this video session guys, thank you for watching and have a great day.